What kind of incident will make your day? The people who look up to events in their life that could probably shatter or make their days. I'm reminded of a very vivid story of a lady that I met around the hospital facility, crying in pain, asking for help. And I rushly went and picked the wheelchair just to wheel her to the place where she, of course, gets treated, not just treated, but have a baby. 30 minutes later, she was blessed to have a young baby girl. Later on, she narrated to me that I actually made her day because she lost hope, wondering if something will happen to her. My desire may be to ask to us this very moment, what is this one thing? Because we wake up to expectations, we wake up despite disappointment of yesterday, we wake up seeking and looking forward for a better today. The psalmist makes this very clear in one of the texts in the Bible. He says, "This is the day that the Lord has made." For sure, God makes ways, He makes days in the lives of people. In the history of the Israelites while traveling to the promised land, they get to a place where they're pursued by the enemies in the book of Exodus. Of course, they are pursued and struggling to know whether they will have days as usual, but they're looking forward to a better day. In their expectation, they are bombarded with the fear of the enemies pursuing them. Perhaps that will be their last day. These people are experiencing a roller coaster of emotions. They are experiencing a roller coaster of sweet and bitter experiences. Of course, they have gone through bitter waters. The waters have been made sweet, but still they're looking forward for something that will make their day. The challenge is they are confined and wondering the direction to take. The Israelites have taken miles and they've covered miles and they cannot go backwards. Around them, they are confined in the surroundings that is inaccessible. They are covered with challenges because after covering irreversible miles, they are stopped by what will mean their last day event. Why do I say this? Their dreaded foreigners are pursuing them, and right beside them, they can't access anywhere beside them. And in front of them, they are facing what I could say a dead end, or probably the dead end sea. What do you do when life seems to give you a dead end? Perhaps the lady I told you about a story may have been wondering whether in her life she will ever even give birth to a child. May I pause for a moment? Perhaps you're in that situation right now and struggling in your mind. How do I scale the challenges of my life? How do I face these challenges with expectation? How do I make things sweet when all I have right now is bitter in my life? So the Bible says in the words of Moses, he tells these people in the book of Exodus chapter 14, a words of inspiration, a word of hope. He says, Moses tells the people, "Fear not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which He will show you today." The word there is today. The point is they ought to stand still, they ought to wait to see something today. I'd be shocked to see someone tell me that my trouble will end in a day. I'd be shocked to be told that probably my financial expectation will be solved in a day. I'll be shocked to be told that all my struggles, probably that I've been struggling through the decades of life, will be ending today. But the most revealing, the most promising point there is they were told, stand still and see the salvation today. Why? Because for their enemies who are Egyptians, whom they have seen today, you shall see them again no more. What is this one thing that you've toiled with through the years and you're giving it to God and say, God, I wish you could do it for me today. In this entire life that they've lived, they have gone through persecution and frustrations of life. And of course, the most expected expectation is that they will be be saved today. What is this one thing that you want to fix today? The Bible says, it tells these people, this the Lord will accomplish. Do not be afraid. And today I'm seated here probably talking to someone who's struggling with an addiction. You're struggling with an expectation. Maybe it's an anxiety over something that has pounded you down, and you're wondering there's no way backwards, you can't go back besides, and in front there's no situation, there's no direction. I'm here to encourage you that you can see the salvation today. Just hold your peace. Why? Because the Bible will say in the book of Exodus chapter 14 verse 30, so the Lord saved the Israelites that day. It's in that day that they saw their enemies defeated. It's that day they saw the victory that God gave them. And today I'm telling you, whatever your struggle you may be, you're struggling with, leave it to the Lord. Be still and wait and see the salvation today. Why? Because God keeps his promises. Indeed, they saw his salvation in that day.